Music, entertainment.
Like me spliff and take a jack right now. You see people, you can't trust them.
We can learn a lot from the past. We can learn a lot. Money, something we can be without. A wife is something, what they say about the wife, they say, you can't live with her, you can't live without her. I'm hanging out with the boys today. A lot of guy talk. And so, ladies, I know we got a lot of ladies that tune in all the time. Guy Fisher, original king of Harlem, on the check-in. First black owner of the Apollo Theater. Puerto Ricans from the Bronx is here. Yeah, so who the hell you think I am? And so, you can't live with a woman you can't live without. And so I'm talking to my guys, rich guys, poor guys, happy guys, sad guys. They all say, the wife, everybody, damn, man, why these ladies want to put us through it, man, on a regular basis. Everybody. So I'm thinking it's like just me. It's all men. All men feel like their wife. And I wonder if it's like women feel like this worked so far. Because we talking about people who've been with their wives for a long time. And so they figure this worked so far. I got to keep them on a leash. I got to keep them. I don't know. I really, really don't know. But they always want to argue with each other. And so, shout out to my Knicks. My Knicks is killing them out there. You know, you see me courtside. Let me tell you something, man. I used to go see Michael Jordan play in Madison Square Garden. He was this small. So when you see me courtside sitting there with my daughter, my brother Rich, I'm looking up at Upper Deck, and I know they're going to be there one day. And I pray so hard. Thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity to sit so close to my favorite team. Yo, man, you suck. And so what happens is my Knicks put on a show yesterday. I'm sitting next to Trey Songz. I let him say what he want to say. The man saying he bringing the luck to the Knicks. All right, cool. But all I know is we so happy right now to get some wins. And yesterday I was up in there. I can't go to Madison Square Garden without eating a hot dog and eating some popcorn. I just can't. I'm hanging out with Spike. Spike Lee's telling me some jokes. I gotta go. They got this fancy thing, which we love, where the celebrities go at halftime. You ever wonder why the celebrities take long to get back on the second half? Is in Madison Square Garden, they got this fancy thing where they give you lobster and steaks and lamb chops and an amazing spread. Shout out to my boy Dan from the Knicks. And whoever is in there, right? And so halftime people go get a drink, they get whatever. And so it's where it takes a little bit long to get off the lobster and the pasta and all that. Me, I will eat it, but I technically go to the game for a Diet Pepsi, popcorn, and a hot dog. It's just my thing. Y'all, June Torres, shout out, my mom's is on the check-in. What's up, mommy? I love you so much. And so, I'm so happy. The fans are so happy that we got a good team this year. So I leave out the building, and I'm like, where was it? Let's go, nigga buggers! Let's go! So I run up on fans, and I'm, keep that same energy! Keep that same energy! So they looking at me, and they going, yo, this guy, Fat Joe, crazy, because I forget I'm Fat Joe. when I'm in the Knicks and we're winning and everybody's screaming and there's thousands of people out, let's go Knickerbockers! I'm in everybody's face, wilding out. And so I go outside, it's pouring. And there's a guy out there with a microphone and a speaker. And he's freestyling. Yo, Fat Joe, what's up, my man? Yo, what's good? And I'm like, hey, he's killing it. So I go up to him, I tip him a little something. You know, I throw him a little $20 for the services. You know, he's out in the rain singing, right? Zone. And so he's out there singing. So I give him a little $20 and then I said, you know what? Why not? I grabbed the mic from the guy. And I start freestyling. Lyrics to the enemy. Enough's enough. Federals try to set me up. Put me in cuffs and crush what I lust into dust. Plus, and the crowd goes crazy. There's about 30, 40 people out there. They start going crazy like, and shit could have turned into a full-fledged, what's his name, Kosher Dills? The shit could have turned into a full-fledged concert out there. And so we had a great time, and then I walked off to get my car. And everybody's, yesterday's Knicks, not yet. You know, we just bugging out with the fans. And to me, it was no big deal. Like I tell you, I'm so proud of the Knicks, and I was so happy. I forget I'm even Fat Joe. So I'm running around, and people really appreciated that. But that's, if you know Joe Crack, that's who I am. Today I stood in front of my store up in YC. A man came up with his students. He was like, hey, man, you sponsored our school's jerseys for the last 3 years. Another man came up and said, you sponsored our Little League team. You know, as I'm out there, lady and her family comes up, when's the turkeys? When's the food coming out? When you guys going to give away the turkeys and stuff? And so, that's the shit I love. That's the shit I love. Where we give back so much we don't even know who we giving, what we doing. They just coming up, yo, this school, that school, this school. You know, and that's what it's about, man. And that's what I stand for. You know, a lot of people, we grow up in the hood, we grow up with not much. And then we wonder where these people went to. And, you know, people who make it out the hood and they never come back. They leave, we never see them. I never wanted to be one of those people. Time is flying. Life is moving at an all-time speed. And, yeah, I've been through some shit in my life, but I'm pretty proud of where I ended up and where I've become. You know, Melo is balling. I knew he would. If that team stays healthy, which LeBron is out for the second game, but if they stay healthy, all they got to do is spot up and shoot 15-footers, 18-footers. I think Melo got that. You know what I'm saying? The lights is kind of bright. Nobody's here. Nobody's at work. Executive producer Azariah Milan is in her room with her tutor. And she will get her phone taken if she doesn't do her work. And that's about the shit we could do now. And that's about all we could do. You can't hit your kids. You can't, everything's a cancel. You know, I went to Wildin' Out. Shout out to Nick Cannon for having me there. The 300th episode. And while I'm there, I see everybody getting ready for the show. And one of the rappers, she's a transgender rapper. So she dressed up like a girl, everything. You know, she's a girl, I guess. Right? That please. Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying she's a transgender. She's there. She raps. And I hear the other guys, because you know it's all a competition. It's all a competition. You rap against who, you rap battle, you freestyle, you this. And I see some of the comedians actually scared to take her on because I heard their own mouth saying, I don't want to get canceled. I don't want to this and the way. And so it's really crazy out here right now to where comedy can't be comedy no more. Everybody's really, really, really worried about all this cancel shit and all this thing going on. And Dave Chappelle, will he get canceled? Will he this and that? And so life that we once knew where people felt free to make fun about things is really getting tested right now. And I saw that firsthand when I was in the back and I seen them, they were scared. Everybody was scared. And it's all about battling. And it's all about freestyling against each other. But they were really, really scared to go up against this other rapper. And so that shit was like, wow. Because comedy is where you could go after anybody. It could be too soon. It could be whatever. It could be the foulest shit. And people just laugh at it. In fact, we laugh at our pain. But right now it's a real terrible time in the world where they trying to like, you know, people scared to death. And so shout out to my man John. I don't say his word right. Yo, Serge, what's up? America's too sensitive. You could tell me that shit. And so, Ja, I want to say Ja Zlinga. I don't know. I get his name wrong, from the Bay Area. Incredible artist. I bought some artwork for him for the new crib. It's so fucking fly. I posted. But beautiful. Shout out my brother Clark Kent. I did his documentary today. And I bought some art off his daughter. His daughter's very, very talented. So I'm waiting on that, Clark. Get your daughter's art, because I got that too. And this shit is crazy. LaMelo Ball is balling. And so now you can be a regular person. Never been in trouble with the law. Have too many drinks, get behind the wheel, crash into somebody, or God forbid, kill them. Now you're in jail for manslaughter. One thing that's always looming out there is death, taxes, and jail. Anybody can go to jail. Argue with the wrong cop, you go to jail. Anything you do, you can get punished for it. And so, Alec Baldwin is shooting a movie. They give him what we call a prop gun. But the guys who gave him the gun were like having target practice. And unfortunately, he shoots and he kills a young lady. He feels terrible about it. Everybody feels terrible about it. It's sad. But now the man is on the brinks of, he might go to jail. And so somebody who's been legit his whole life, as far as we know, done the right thing, entertained us. I seen the police conference where they were like, oh, we're not ruling out if he's going to jail or not. And so this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy because he might go to jail. And so these cops, at some point, they get the power. No matter how much more money you got than them or whatever, the floor is theirs. They're going to do what they want to do. And so this man, they might have set him up. And I'm not too sure there was a foul play. I don't know. People are so crazy. It happened to Bruce Lee's son. You're right. But people are so crazy. I don't know, could somebody have done that to bring more promotion to the movie? It's called Rust. Not Alec Baldwin. Somebody in a sick fucking mind slipped a regular bullet in there. You know, these people are crazy. People shoot up, kids shoot up the whole fucking elementary school. Like, the shit is crazy. Rob Lowe, I need them to say something on here. because it won't just let me request some Rob Lowe. If you tuned in, Rob Lowe, tonight I might have one of the biggest guests ever created in the history of mankind. I mean, I have him, but we got to see him here. And so, I see a lady at the gas station. She says, "Please let me hug you." I said, "Yeah, but it's still COVID. I try to do and she's like, "But it's still COVID." I'm like, "It's still COVID." And then she was like, "Listen, you don't understand. I'm a nurse. Me and my patient will watch you every night during the COVID, and you got us through it. And we got each other through it because I was really, really scared before I turned on this live. And you guys helped me get through this time of COVID. At the same time, we informed each other, and every day we wouldn't know who would come on, and we just touch, and next thing you know, it's Mike Tyson, or it's Floyd Mayweather, or it's Alicia Keys. And we try never to announce who's coming, so that if they don't come, we don't spoil you nothing. No, I know a lot of people that died over COVID. So please, I know people that died this week off of COVID. My man Dennis Frank from Mark in America died off of COVID. I know people that died this week. 3 people who died over COVID. Please do not tell me it's not real. Hold up, let me go because I got. Let me see. And so, listen, man, I've been on movies. I've shot guns. You believe what they tell you? It looks like they really, really prepare. Yo, Rob, I'm on here, so they got to come on the Instagram and say something like hello or I'm here, so I can click them on it. I can't just request them. They got to come on and say, yo, I'm here. And we live on the air, Rob. We live on the air, Rob Love. So tell them to text that and we good.
Okay, because I think they was trying to request you.
No, they got to, yeah, they can request me, but I don't see them on there. So the thing is, they just got to say a word.
Oh, okay.
They just got to say like, yo, I'm here. And then I can click on.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You know what? Are you following him?
I don't know if it makes a difference. You gotta, right now it's too late. We live on the Fat Joe Show. So they just gotta come on and say, hey, what's up, I'm here. And I can click on them. All right? On the comments.
All right, cool.
All right, bye. We got a big one today. We got a legendary one today. And so they give you the gun, and then anytime I did, like, we shot a pilot for New York Undercover, which should have went. I don't know what happened. But we had big shootout scenes and all that. And every time they're so careful and they prepare so well that it's just weird that this had a bullet, a real bullet. So they said it was a live round. That changes. Like, because they got like blanks, and sometimes when you're too close, something comes out and can hurt you or whatever. This was a real bullet. This is a real problem. As if somebody's going to jail for this shit. Somebody. Don't know if it's Alec Baldwin. Don't know where it is the guy who fixed the gun. Don't know where it is somebody, the prop director. Somebody going to jail. Somebody going to jail. It's sad to say. It's sad to say somebody's going to jail. And I've been on these movie sets where, they check 1,000 times. They'll be like, hey, Joe, you see there's nothing in there? You see this is I don't know how that happened to them. But they sent the assistant director. I don't know. And we get one story on top of another story, Yeah, somebody said jail ain't the word. Jail ain't the word because an innocent woman died behind that, you know. Although Gerald Lamy has never been a rehabilitation, you know, when they say it's supposed to change you, if anything, it teaches you how to be a bigger crook and you get around worse people. Yo, Serge, what's up, Serge? Yeah. I'm looking for a living legend of all living legends. It don't make sense. Give you another hint. Hold up, let me see. Yo, somebody hit up Eddie Levert Sr. and tell him Fat Joe looking for him. You remember this shit? Man, I got a phone call the other day. Rob Love connected me with the living legend Eddie Levert and Senior, and all he could do was he kept saying big show, the big show, the big. He obviously finds a crack, you know. He finds Static Select. It's funny to him, the big. I'll ask him, but let me tell you something, man. This right here is the most legendary show in the game. They don't like me telling you, but if there's something, that's right, rest in peace, Gerald Levert. If there's something that Kanye has taught me was you gotta speak about your accomplishments and your blessing. He's here? Where at? You see him? Somebody said he's here. Hold up. See if he's here. I don't see him. I don't see him. If you see him here, let me know. Don't fuck up the cipher and just lie and say he here. They say he here. I don't see him on here. Yeah, I don't see him. He's waiting. Listen, guys, I can't request a man. Oh, there you go. See if I requested him.
Yo!
Woo!
There we go. The big.
Mr. Levert, who put you on the Fat Joe and the big show, man? When I said, that's all you.
You gotta remember, Joe, that you put us on with Big Pun when we did Darling Baby on a lot. He when we came to New York, shot the video with you and Big Pun, and we were. I mean, that was our first introduction to each other. And so about let me see, was it last year when we were in Oakland? And
Yeah. And I see you at the radio station.
About 4 years ago, when we stopped traffic in Oakland, and we was on the street signing autographs and
talking and all that. You know, I love you. I'm just trying to give the people a feel for it because this is legendary. You know, I was born in 70, right? And so me being a kid, how old are these kids next to you right here?
This is my 19-year-old daughter.
Hi.
Their name is.
Man, you look so young. and so you gotta imagine when I was 2 years old. When I was 2 years old, you had hits. When I was 4 years old, you had hits. When I was 6 years old, you had hits. When I was 8 years old, you had hit. When I was 10 years old, you had hit. When I was 13, you had. And I'm just going back in time looking at all these. I'm like, no wonder I love these guys so much. So I'm listening to the radio all day with my family, and your guys are just like rocking, man. And And so what I thought about was like, you grew up in the 60s. What was it like growing up in America in the 60s? And how did that prepare you to make music for years to come?
Oh man, you know that's why we were able to relate in our song. That's why the music was portraying whatever we lived through during that time period. And you know, as we were church kids, we went to church on a regular basis. That's why that where that soul came from, that gospel feeling came from, because we were church going people. And Walter's father, he was the choir director, and so he basically taught how to approach the song. And so when we started recording, we already knew the ins and outs of how to record a song and make it really happen. He said you start in the basement, you go to the second floor, you go to the third floor, and then you go through the roof. And 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 the same thing when I look at you and you're doing these songs like Lean Back, or you doing these songs like uh 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 what is that what
All the way up?
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, man. I mean, well, you know, when I think about how the hip hop culture has came about, it's like they are the form of dance music that has transformed into something that people can listen to and to make them get over troubles or the times that they're living in. So I think that your music and the hip hop culture is just another progression of where we came from musically. And y'all
That's
just
a fact. But you know, at that time, even though we have many, many legends and many, many greats, they would sugarcoat it. They would PG-13 it. You know, you just now starting to see in Spanish TV, starting to see dark-skinned Spanish people. They wouldn't have, so, and you guys are making stuff like what they do. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place, the backstabbers. And that is so relevant today.
I didn't know. Well, you know, because that's the time we grew up in. That's those songs were relative to, like you say, in the '60s. Like those songs was just the message that we were conveying in our neighborhood that we grew up in. That was the time period, and those songs took on. That's why they'll never die, because it's just relative to what keeps going on. The world just goes in circles, man. It don't stop. It's like a 360. It just keeps doing the same thing over and over again. And the bad part of it, it seems like we're not learning anything. We just keep doing the same things over and over and over again.
You know what happens is, you bring it up. You've lasted a long time. You outlived a lot of people. Did
Yeah.
you ever? Did you? I mean, that's a beautiful thing, but did you ever think you would get to this age when you was my age or you was younger? Did you ever think you'd be the senior Eddie Levert?
Joe, I am really amazed that I have lived this long, and I've seen the things that I've seen, and I've seen the music go from what I was doing, from Sam Cooke, from James Brown, from up to right now that it's the hip hop culture, the rappers, the Fat Joes, the P Diddy's, the Ashantes, the Ludacris, the doggone we're talking about what my man who raps real great Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes.
And then Big Daddy Kane, who you just had on KRS One, all of those. You know what I'm saying? I've seen so much, and I've seen the music transform, and I've seen it go from this to that, from here to there. And I'm just, but the one thing I want to ask you, how come the hip hop culture don't embrace people of my group, but they sample, but they don't embrace as like they will embrace Bennett, they will embrace Scare, they will embrace Barbara Streisand, and that culture going. How come our hip hop culture don't do that for their own black?
Okay, I can answer that quickly, right? For for 1,000,000% sure, they do. And they love you and they worship you and everything you brought to the game. And we appreciate that you let us sample your music. That's why Big Pun's first single, Dollar Dollar Baby, we wanted you in the video to keep it authentic. Now, there's a trick to this question. The trick to the question is corporate America took over hip hop music. Whether all these record labels are corporate America, all these radio stations are corporate America. So all they care about is the almighty dollar. So they say, I mean, it's a true story. I was on record labels that would let go of guys that used to sell millions of records. They were only 25 years old, and they were 26 years old after the record label let them go, and they'd be on the Old School at Noon tour. I'm like, bro, you only 26. How you old school? But these are the games that corporate America been playing. There's definitely something called ageism in music, urban music, to where they feel you get a certain age, we don't want to play you no more. We don't want to rock with you no more. And what's sad is when you see guys like the COVID comes and everybody's trapped in the house and everybody takes control and puts on their Instagram, D-Nice, he got popular playing your music.
Absolutely.
Playing the older generation music. This is what made D-Nice hot, because why? He's playing what the people really want to hear, not what these people are dictating and forcing people to hear.
Okay, in other words, what you're saying, they're controlling what the people are hearing on radio. They're controlling.
Yes.
It's like my son Gerald. He was old school, and he was only 30 years old. And he says, Dad, how can I be old school? And I'm not. So
I never listened to him.
yeah.
I swear to God, Eddie, I never listened to him. So when they told me retire, they told me whatever, I went independent, put up my own money, got my own team together. I never listened to him. And so they try to tell me I was old school. And I never listened to him. And look, we more relevant now than we ever been in our lives.
Ever.
I mean, these guys, we can't listen to them. And you brought up Gerald Levert, your son, may he rest in peace. Living legend. He inspired me as a big boy, getting fly. You know, he was talking to them ladies. You think I wasn't watching? He had the beard first. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the flyest. And tell me about, you know, because the last thing we ever want, and we having fun, but is to lose a child, right? Let alone lose anybody. And so how you been able to maintain, because I've always watched you, Jennifer Hudson, she lost some family members, and she always looked strong and dealt with it with strength. You know, how much do you miss Gerald, and how have you been able to keep going?
There's not a day goes by that I don't think about him and my son Sean. It's not a day goes by because they were like my partners. We were trying to establish a family business in music, and take as a one step at a time. This is what we're building. We're building something that our whole family can eat off of, and this is why we're doing it like. And yeah, the reason why I was able to get through it, Joe, was because I'm a very religious person. I believe in God. I think He puts anything on you that you can't handle. So through prayer, through my belief, it made me strong to the point that he, you know, he delivered me. He made sure who I. That's the way you get through this, Joe. And I know you know. You know it because you being from you're from the Bronx, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're living in Florida now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will never ever get your foot out of the Bronx because I see how you with all the guys that are still there and how they relate to you, how, and they bow and they say the crack. I don't know how you got that. How did you get crack, man?
I got the crack because let me put that because Spike Lee, he gave me a role in She's Gotta Have It, but he made me explain to the whole staff how I got my name Joey Crack. So it ain't for selling crack, Mr. Levert. Although I've sold crack, but I'm keeping it real. It's because I always been fat, and I would go up. The teacher would ask me to write something on the chalkboard, and my pants would be sagging, and the crack of my butt would be showing. And so, you know, I'm from the Bronx, the hood. The girls used to make fun of me and be like, Joey Crack, Joey Crack. And so I kept that name. That's how I got the name Joey Crack. And I'm proud of it.
I made a joke earlier and I was like, I bet you this cousin's butt crack was showing. And everybody was like, nah, it's not because of that.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. And everybody thought it was the other thing, but it was because of that. And the girls would make fun of me and be like, Joey Crack, Joey Crack. And but you're right. My roots in the Bronx, I got businesses there. I'm about to open another sneaker store in the Bronx. And inspiration, always giving back to the people. I was there today, and so many people came up to me and they were like, yo, Joe, thanks for the food you give out. Thanks for the computers you give. How you sponsor. We sponsor everything, Mr. Levert. We sponsor everything. We just give back to the people as much because this is my true home. This is where I'm from, and I care about my people. And I love them.
And I see that in you, Joe. Every time I watch you or I see you mingling with the people, even though you're living in Florida now, you're still very much that guy from the Bronx. I want to ask you one more question. Then my grandson got a question he want to ask you. But
all right.
Have you ever heard of this rapper by the name of Spazzo?
Spazzo, yes, I have.
Jonathan Burke, that was his name. He worked with Jay-Z.
Yes, Jazzo.
Yeah. He was from Brooklyn also, right?
Yeah, he's the guy who inspired Jay-Z to rap. He's the guy who inspired Jay-Z to make his name Jay-Z, because Jay-Z's name is Sean Carter, but he looked up to Jazzo so much, he named himself Jay-Z.
Oh wow, man! See, and you know he did a rap on one of our records called "Have You Had Your Love Today?" Jazzo did, and it's such because he was the first guy I heard that did that.
Jay-Z came out rapping like that from day one. They from the same hood. Who else has sampled your music? I know your music is on TV shows. I know I see Jalen Rose, come on, got to keep the people, get the people what you want. Like
Donald Trump, The Apprentice. You know he used For the Love of Money for his theme song for the longest on The Apprentice. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And then Coors, they had the Coors used Love Train for the Bullet Train. And see, now this is how I can relate to what you were saying earlier about how they control our music and give it out. They put our song Love Train on this Bullet Train, and the Bullet Train was coming through, was really doing great. Okay, okay, so I went to them, the chorus people, and I said, okay, let's do this. Come on, we can do the let's come on, let's do the OJs and chorus get together and we'll do something great and do it for the neighborhood and make sure our people. They told me that those are not the demographic
That's not the demographic.
that we're trying to get to. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, but you're using my music.
But you're using my song.
Yeah, but
so you getting the sauce.
Yeah.
You don't want to go all the way. You getting the sauce. You faking it like you know what the sauce is, but you just don't want to go all the way.
Yeah, no, that really didn't. And I couldn't believe it. That's what made me. That's why I'm able to relate to you and what you're saying about how they're controlling our music. But Micah, you got your question?
I got two questions, really. I'm gonna start with something real light. But you've been around, like, honestly, I don't really know a time where Fat Joe wasn't a thing in my life. So first question is, how did you feel that, like, because in 2002 I was 12 years old. How did you feel that you had little kids licking the bottom of their shoes? You know what I'm saying? After they bought them. Because, like, when I saw you do that on MTV Cribs, every time I got a new pair of shoes, straight, yeah.
Well, you know, at the time, I was trying to brag and just, like, say I had some sneakers that were, like, 8 years old from Boston. I think they were the Barcelona Jordans. So I wanted to show in MTV Cribs, yo, these are still brand new. Nobody never wore them and licked them. I never knew it would be a phenomenon. But the question you asking me is just like a recycle of what I asked him. It's like, you know, we grew up with nothing. You know, we had a dream of making it to something. And still me, I'm still in that fight. And he is trying to take the legacy to another level to make sure that when we do check out, you know, my daughter and my son and my family will be straight forever. And that's where I'm at with it. And so when you see me keep reinventing myself, keep working, keep opening businesses, keep doing stuff, you know, a lot of our people that really, really, really inspired us didn't have it as good as we do. You know, so like the younger generation now, like the babies, the little babies, and these guys are making so much more money than when we was coming up.
Yeah.
Like, they are flying through the bags, you hear me? And it's like, I'm happy for them. But, you know, I'm in, like, the middle of it. Like, I'm a middle-class rapper. Like, I'm doing better than the broke ones, but not as good as I wish I could do. But that happened, you know, many years ago, they gave Magic Johnson $1 million for a year. And the man, it was the biggest thing all over the newspapers, all over this and this and that. Now you got guys making $257 million for 5 years. You can't think so. With Fat Joe trying to be relevant since you was born, is I'm just trying to keep up with the Joneses and trying to stick around long enough to get some of those bags that I deserve.
Look, man, you sticking. You sticking. You sticking. You're doing it. I promise you.
You're the big.
But I got one more question I really want to ask. So when my mom used to work at Def Jam. So, you know, she used to under Kevin Lyles and Leor and Rob and everybody. So, like, I was running around the building when Enough had the little room in the side and, you know, everything. So, you know, I met Jay-Z, I met Ja Rule. All these people are my people. Like, I'm like a little kid just in awe. So when the whole 50 Cent thing popped off, I felt very one-sided because I was with y'all wholeheartedly. And everybody else was like, you know, the Ja Rule did it. And I'm like, they're great guys. I don't know what you guys are doing over here. So, like, and like, y'all really don't even understand what you're saying. Like, you got the same fallacies. So I want to know, because out of everybody, it seems like you and 50 Cent are actually friends. And I
That's
know
right.
you have a lot of respect, and like out in New York, niggas love you, man. So it's like, I want to know how that came about, because out of all the situations that's happened with 50 Cent, he don't squash nothing. It's really like nothing. Like, even if it's long past gone, he's still like, I mean,
This guy's born petty.
Whoa,
He's born petty. He's the petty king.
the pettiest. So
He's the pettiest in the world. But you know, what happened with me was, in a long story short, is you know, when Pun passed away, I was, rest in peace, I was at the funeral and I was crying. I don't cry much, but I'm there and I'm crying. And I look down and somebody's standing in front of me. And when I look up, it's Ja Rule. And although Ja Rule was little, he was so big. And I believe that God, like Mr. LeVert said, God does everything for a reason. So looking at Ja Rule, I felt like this was a moment, because I never met him. He was like, yo, sorry about your brother. I said, this is my guy. Like, I really love this guy. It was a bonding moment for me, right? And so a couple of months later, after Pun died, I'm going through depression. You know, I went to see psychiatrists, everything, no lie, you know, gaining weight. I was going through it. And my phone rings, and everybody's telling me, even my friends are like, yo, Pun is dead. You're never going to be nobody. You're not as good as Pun. And so my phone rings in the middle of the night. It's Ja Rule and Irv Gotti, and they're like, yo, Fat Joe, come to the Hit Factory. I don't know how they got my house number. So I go to the Hit Factory like 3, 4 in the morning. When I get there, they press play, and it's What's Love? What's Love Got to Do? And they gave me that song in the middle of the whole world doubting me and the whole world saying it's over for me, my best friends. And so I built a bond with them, an unbreakable bond and a love for them. So then when Ja Rule, fast forward, was getting that, him and 50 was having a beef, all my friends that love me, that was saying this don't have nothing to do with you, Joe. They was like, yo, get away from Ja Rule, don't hang. But these are the guys I was hanging with every day. And so when Ja was going through that, I gave him the New York song, like boom, boom, boom. I got 100 clips, and now I had asked Jadakiss to get on it, and then Ja Rule had the song If It Wasn't for the Money, Cars, and Juice. And at the time, he was singing the hook, and I went to Chicago and got R. Kelly to sing the hook for him. So I don't know if people were telling 50 Cent, like, yo, Fat Joe's really helping this guy while you're trying to end his career. And then it turned into like, all right, you want to be cool with him? You could get some of this smoke too. And that's what started the 50 Cent Fat Joe beef. And it came a time when Chris Lighty discovered 50 Cent, rest in peace, and discovered me. And so when Chris Lighty died, me and 50 Cent was doing a tribute to him at the BET Awards. And 50 Cent was like, yo, let's do peace for Chris. Chris always wanted us to be cool and be brothers. And so we shook hands. And I ain't gonna lie to you, as crazy as he is, he's never went back on his word one time with me. He's never disrespected. You know, we've been cool brothers ever since.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how that whole thing came about, man.
I've always thought that was really beautiful. That was real cool to see y'all relationship grow over the years, especially for, you know, a kid that's a fan of hip hop. That's like, this is like what he grew up on. To see that was really cool.
Yeah, you know, we always got everybody wanting to kill each other. You know, we lost Big, we lost Pop. You know, I love Big. Like, you know, I got the new crib. The first thing I put up was a Big painting. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was my brother in real life. And that's another thing, yo, Mr. LeVert, who you was cool with, you know, when you was coming up in the game, and did you ever view anybody as competition?
Look, whatever they thought about James Brown was a really cool person to me. Like, he made everybody call him Mr. Brown, but I was the only one that he would let him call him James Brown. He'd say, Eddie, none of you other guys, you got to, but Eddie, you can call me James if you want or whatever. That was like putting the blessing on me and saying you're part of what we're doing. And
you one of us, like you one of the big boys. You in the league.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He respect you like that. Let me ask you a question. You've been watching these verses.
Yes.
Who would go up?
Yes.
Who would go up against you
Yes.
in the verses?
Get him! I've been trying. He won't do it. I've been trying for the longest. I've been saying, Pop, you need to get on the verses.
Nobody can beat you. Nobody can beat you.
Nobody
can beat you.
And I keep saying, who?
Nobody can beat you. I mean, what about I know everybody not here, but what about the OJs against the Temptations?
Yeah. Say what you now you're like, yeah. Because he's over here. I don't know about the tips, man. You know how many songs they have?
Man, you sit up there, man, and y'all play hit for hit, and people will enjoy it so much. It's like, it'd be a legendary thing, and this is another way of getting your flowers, man. It would be amazing. If it ain't you, who would you like? What would you like to see a dream matchup in versus? Even if it ain't you, like what would you like to see?
I still think the Jays and the Temps would be a great verse, man. Because they keep in the OJs and Whistler's, but we've done that so many times, and I just think that the OJs, because Temps have the track record, they have a catalog that's unbelievable, man. And so I just would like to let everybody see that we're the same caliber as the Temptations.
Joe,
you heard it here, yo, Swiss Timberland. Let's get if Swiss is watching, because I told him I was going on with you. I told him I was gonna ask you the question.
He said he would do it if they called him. If they call him, he will do it.
Say no more. They're gonna go. Say no more. Say no more. I already put the call in.
Right.
Nah, that'd be amazing, man. To get your flowers.
They waited. They said, they set me up for this.
Oh, for sure.
I knew you were the guy. I knew you could do it. Joe.
I mean, you could do it. You knew I would do it? How you knew I would? I didn't know what the plan was.
Big
stuff. I'm thinking about, I love music. I love music. Any kind of music. What does that song mean to you? Because it means so much to me because I love music so much. What does that song mean to you?
That was the very first song that we did that hit everybody. That hit the disco, that hit everybody that loved music at all. That song was relative, like disco. It was one of the first disco records. It was big in the disco. During the disco age, it was one of the biggest disco records.
You know, when I hear that song, I think of Carlito's Way. I immediately think like, no, Carlito, don't do it, baby. They legit, Carlito.
Yeah. You know what? I know that you, and I wanted to ask you this. I know that you and Pun was very close. I know you addressed that earlier. And I just wanted to know that when he passed away, I wanted to ask you, but you've already addressed the fact that you got into depression. But the love you guys had for one another when we were on the set doing that Darling, Darling Baby thing. And the love that you and this guy, because what man lays up in another man's arm and go to sleep? You know what I'm saying? And what man does that and have that kind of love for, and you know that they're both men. Unbelievable, man. That kind of bond you and this guy had. I mean, I just.
Yeah, I guess to answer your question is not a day goes by that neither me, and we got a big crew, Mr. Levert, like TS, Terror Squad, is a big crew. It's like one giant octopus. And so, and not a day goes by that nobody in this crew doesn't think of Big Pun. Like everybody in the crew thinks of him. And you know what happened? Maybe like 3 years ago before COVID, I threw a birthday party. And everybody came. And so there was a writer who snuck in for the New York Post, and it was like page 6. And so I was like, man, how'd he get in there? And then when the writer wrote the story, they said Floyd Mayweather was there, Tiffany Haddish, Mary J. Blige, and they said, and the DJ kept consciously shouting out Big Pun like he was in the party every 10 minutes. That's how much we love Pun. That's how much we think about him. That's how much he's a part of our DNA and our soul, that we throw parties and we shout him out like he's in the building. And I guess it's similar with you and your 2 sons,
I appreciate you making us a part of that, because do you understand? And that's one of the memories that I have of being in hip hop culture. Before a lot of people don't even recognize that we were there when it was going on. We were there when it started. We were there when they started rapping. We were there from the get-go, and being a part of that was, one of the greatest memories of my career.
Let me ask you one last question, Mr. Levert. When did you first hear hip-hop? The first time you ever heard a rap song?
Oh man! I think it was Will Smith. I think it was really him the one that
him and Jazzy Jeff.
Right. Because they came out of Philly, so that's my first introduction to it. And that was that before you all?
Yeah, that was way before us.
Yeah.
But it was still after a bunch of other rappers. They had that last night I had it all. They had it. They was rocking.
The Flavor Flav and Chuck D. Those are some of the first people that I heard.
Living legends.
Like I said, Jaz-O, because he worked on a couple.
He was one of the first ones too.
They were, that's when I tell people now, that's only the growth of music.
You brought something up, Mr. Levert, Philly. You from Philly. What was it like? That whole Philly ran the whole music scene at that time.
Oh man, Joe, you wouldn't believe it. It was just like oh wow, music,
a fairy tale.
Music on every corner, music everywhere. You had the stylistics. You had Tommy Bell, who was producing. You had
Gamble and Huff,
the Delphonics, Gamble and Huff. Yeah, there was so much music.
What's my man who got killed? That he got shot. He made all the positive records.
Come out Whitehead.
Whitehead, man, that was the saddest thing. His music's so positive and uplifted.
Yeah. Toot was the kind of writer that when he presented a song to you, he performed it as he was presenting it to you, as he was like he'd sing and dancing to a song like Backstabbers. He'd sing the whole song and dancing and all of that good stuff, man. But Joe, I really appreciate you, man. I think you're one of the greatest, and they can, man, they can never, no matter what they do, never get rid of you because you're that lean back person, you know. You're that all the way up.
I love you, Mr. Levert. Thank you and your family, and I'm gonna try to really, really get that verses done because the people want to see it.
All right, Joe,
Teddy P was from Philly, right?
Yes, absolutely. You know, let me. I'm gonna leave you with this. Now, when they started giving Teddy P all of the close the door and all of those sexy songs, and Gavin Huff kept giving me all the message songs. They were saying, "Well, you're our messenger. You can keep doing that." I said, "But I want some of that sexy shit, man. What is I need to be saying close the door. I need to be turned off the lights.
You want me to turn off the lights? Right? I mean, you know who used to do that to me, man? J-Lo. She would get me on a song with her, but it'd be some brother and sister shit. And then she would give the sexy song to Fabulous. I said, like, damn, why I can't be sexy with J-Lo? Why I gotta be my sister and brother and you know, why I can't get off on a you know, it's crazy, man. The game.
And Teddy would love it. He'd be loving it. Every minute of it. You can never sing this, man. You can never sing this kind of way to these girls. They wouldn't understand you doing it. They expect you to give them a message, man. You're the preacher. And I'd be talking about, man, get away from me.
Hey, you know, we always want what we can't have, Mr. Levert. We always want what we can't have.
Always, Joe. Joe, this has been great for me, man. I love you, man. And
thank you so much, my brother. I love you so much, man. Thank you for coming on here.
Yeah, Joe, you're my guy. Love you, man.
I love you, man. I love you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Wow. And you do not know who I know. You don't know who I know. Wow, cherry Pepsi, Ciroc, so much finer vodka. You seen the man Eddie Levert on here? You guys act like you see this. You don't. Nowhere else. Whenever I feel like turning it on, it's Living Legends. Morgan Freeman, we won't stop. What do you want me to do? I'm not gonna stop. You don't know who I know. That's Eddie Levert. For the love of money, Backstabbers. I gotta call Swiss. Right? Yeah, Adrian. I gotta call Swiss right now. Timbo the King, right now. Melissa, right now. I think we have an OJ's Temptation versus. I mean, listen, man. The man, like I tell you, he had a hit when I was 2 years old. He had a hit when I was 4 years old. He had a hit when I was 6 years old. When I was 8 years old. When I was 10 years old. When I was 12 years old. When I was 15. When I was 17. When I was 19. Like, you gotta stop. Go on Apple or Tidal and download the OJ's Essentials. And you will lose your mind on how many hits these guys got. Listen, y'all, it was an honor today. This was an honor, a privilege for me to even talk to the living legend. Like, it's just an honor, and this is for you guys. Me doing music, me doing these shows is full transparency so you can learn, so you can know the truth from the people who really done it. Ain't too many people with better careers than Mr. Eddie Levert Sr. Let your darkest moments bring your most clarity. If you go through a tough time in your life and your so-called loved ones, your so-called people aren't there for you, they are not your real peoples. God is giving you a sign. If you ever prayed to God, if you asked him for a miracle, if you asked him to help, to heal your health, if you asked him to get your loved one out of jail, if you asked him to fix your relationship, if you asked him for another day, God, can I please live another day? Love God in good times and bad times. Always love God no matter what, because God is great. Peace, y'all. I'm the biggest in the game.
Ghost Entertainment, I darkest society they ever see. No jokes, a stubborn real man, mule. Scotchy talk your mind.
Chaka P, never know me have so much bad mind, friend. Kill me star Scotchy consignment. Chew me a help myself. Them want see me life and Scotch.
Get the youths, them know we firmer than them.
And
them know so we full of confidence. Build me circle, me never beg no strength. Freestyle and it's very evident. Watch them, I dead them one we dead.
John dead.
Run gun, put a milli on me head.
Want spend.
But Jaja nasty.
We start out as hide and seek. No, me can't avoid her, she can't avoid me. And every time